So let's get this started. Hello sprinters, welcome back to the Strategy Show. I am super excited because today we have the CEO of Vital Design, Zac Gregg. Hi Zac.
How are you, Simon?
Thank you. I'm so excited because we will talk about three things, and I'm super excited about the first thing, which is the live coaching. He will brutally analyze our own website and give us really tangible tips on what to improve. And he is the digital marketing master, so no stone will be unturned there. And then we go to recession marketing. Super interesting for all our community. What should we do right now? Should we stop marketing? Should we invest in marketing? How much? In which way? And then we will go to the success story of his company. He's the CEO of Vital Design, and they went from 0 to 1 million, but then especially they overcome this threshold and they came to 10 million turnover, and you all know how hard that is. And so we will ask him everything about that. So Zac, thank you so much that you had a 20-second analysis of strategysprints.com, because everybody can check that right now, and we will have some live coaching. So what's working, what's not working?
All right. You want me to start? Where are we going to start on the website, huh?
Yeah.
We dive right in. Well, I'll tell you, your website is kind of like starting here with this conversation, right? We're starting with what's wrong, but I haven't built any trust yet. I haven't explained anything to your audience yet. So here I am. I'm going to blindly criticize your site, which is an easy thing to do when you have a 35,000 foot view, and hindsight is 2020. But I haven't built any trust with you or your audience yet. I know you and I have had some conversations, and obviously the reputation of Vital precedes you. But I'm a sales guy. Obviously been in the business for 20 years. So my ability to criticize, if somebody looked at my bio, they'd say, well, he's just a sales guy for Vital. Obviously I've been around doing this for about 20 years. I have some amazing people behind me who do most of the work for our clients. Obviously at one point I've probably done just about everything in our company other than build websites. So there is some credibility there, and we'll learn that later in the show, hopefully, if people listen on and don't get so sick of me. The number one,
we are talking about a company who does, say, just three top of your clients.
Yeah, sure. We work with Lindt Chocolate, which is an absolutely enormous and awesome company. We work for a bunch of universities, including University of San Diego, University of Massachusetts. We work with all sorts of great clients. We've worked with Ocean Spray. We've worked with Chicken of the Sea, and we've worked with absolutely enormous clients. But typical client is a B2B client these days, and schools, law firms. We really like, the B2C companies that we work for are companies who want to be different, right? And so that we've got a lot of them as well. I don't know who you saw on our logo sheet, but we I forget all the names when asked that quickly. But it's an amazing list of clients, and something I never would have believed when we first started. We used to do pizza shops, and I used to say we used to do every pizza shop in town and every restaurant in town, and now I've got we work for Visa. We've worked for we work for Welch's. We work for which is obviously the drink company. We work for Reebok. We work for Accenture. It's crazy because when you say that, it's like, what do you do for them? And there's certain things that we do for all of these companies. And Rakuten, we built out their logistics website, for example. Lindt, we do just about everything on their website. Visa, we built an incredible resource center for them. HubSpot, which is one of our partners, we've worked for them to build out their premium template library. So all sorts of really cool companies that we work for. We get a lot of at-bats because we do SEO ourselves really well. And I don't even call it SEO anymore. We're not optimized for search engines. We're optimized for the type of companies we're looking for, and we bring them into our funnel, and they tend to see the things that they want to do, and that instantly builds trust and credibility.
Beautiful.
So we're going to start there, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So number one thing, obviously, you quickly run your website through a page tester. Your site speed is everything, is a lot when it comes to SEO, and you're not using caching. So simple, easy thing that you can turn on. Obviously, the technology, and you and I had this conversation. I don't love the fact that you're building in the technology that you're building in because it's helping you with your online tools. What I would prefer is you had a best-in-breed CMS for digital marketing. If your goal is to bring people in through your website, not just be a validation or sales tool for you, you really should be built in WordPress or Drupal or some sort of awesome open source platform that allows you to build and rapidly develop, and then leave your backend tools and your sign-in area for another technology if those technologies can't handle your backend, which they typically don't. We get a lot of companies out of the Silicon Valley that work with us, and they're all engineers. They think they can build a site and whatever, and it'll be fine. But then they realize they hand it over to marketers, and marketers can't do it. And they can't compete is what they can't do. And so if you're going to rapidly develop content, deploy content, conversion strategies, all of that stuff, you need a website that's easy to use, flexible, best in breed, CMS, huge community, tons of tools that you can plug in and plug out, works with all the automated marketing tools out there, can be flexible and scalable. And what we find is too many people get caught up in these sexy new ideas. 5 years ago it was craft, and these days it's headless and blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, if you want to drive traffic and you want to drive leads and you want to build a business online, you probably should be in WordPress unless for some reason it doesn't work for your business. And I'm not talking about a theme, a hard-coded theme, or something using page builders. I'm talking about a completely blank theme, which they bones themes, blanks themes. We call ours Skeletor because we're big He-Man fans here at Vital. So Skeletor is just an awesome framework for us to build basically custom sites that are virtually limitless, scalable, flexible. And that's the way we believe companies who need to win online need to build. So that's some of it, obviously testing. When I come to your site, the first thing that jumps out at me is the cadence of your navigation. Obviously, you have a surprise navigation, which I hate and really bad for, introducing yourself to new people. People too often who are good at getting their own referral business and have built their business on their own, try to do things clever and be really good with jargon and things like that, because they think that's how they're going to ingratiate themselves to their audience. But they really should be building their website for people who don't know them. So when I see a tab called Love, and that's your first tab, that's a surprise. Like, oh, great. What am I going to get behind this tab? Is that going to compel me to look under that tab? Probably not. I have no idea what's there. I don't have time. I'm looking for, it looks like, there's all sorts of services that you provide here. But again, you're not telling me that in your hero section either. So I'm probably bouncing from your site or leaving your site very quickly. You're going for a home run in your hero area, which is like to get somebody to, convert. And that's just not where people convert. People don't even know who you are. You aren't simply and clearly telling people who you do, what they're going to find on this site. And you're already asking them for their email, which is like, how would I know if I want to give you my email? Now that's fine. If you're going to, like with me, I already just converted 5 minutes ago because you told me to go to your site and I realized, oops, I should have signed up for his email newsletter. Now that's fine. You already have power over me. You've built trust with me. I already really think you're an awesome dude and your show is amazing. And so I'm going to convert. But that's never going to happen with somebody you haven't talked to first. So get it out of there. Make your hero clear and simple and tell people, the majority of your audience, what you do and why they should read on. Then start addressing empathy as you go down the site. But you, instead of addressing empathy, haven't told me what you're doing. And then you're starting to flash me logos, which says that you desperately want to prove to me that you know what you're doing, but I don't know what you're doing, and I don't know who these people and how they use you. Then you start addressing some empathy with some graphics, and I'm starting to see maybe what you do. I'd prefer that you just put your products and your business lines right underneath the hero banner. Say, this is a website for small businesses and entrepreneurs to learn how to do X, Y, or Z. Underneath it, then give them more context by putting your products there. Then start addressing empathy. Okay, they know who I am. They understand who I am. They understand my products, but they're still not clicking into my products or my services. So maybe I should start saying, well, I do it for this size company. I do it for this types of industries. People like working with me, see the testimonials and the validation. So you see the cadence starts to make more sense, and you're building a more defined funnel. And of course, you're not doing that, and then you're offering me up a lot of validation and a lot of conversion, but it's just not thought through well enough. So then I've got this place called Love, and what's going to be behind Love, is just my customers love me. Well, I don't think you really want to just have a page of testimonials. I saw this a lot 5 years ago, where people just have testimonials or FAQ pages, right? What we want to do is build pages that have value. So when we talk about our products, that's when we want to bring in our testimonials. We want to have a testimonial, a blank, like we offer digital marketing services, website design services. We offer, branding services at some level. I don't want somebody on my homepage. So testimonials on the homepage can sometimes be really unthoughtful or unpersonalized, because that testimonial might say, hey, we build great websites, but that person's there for our SEO services. Or we do, Zach did a great job of upping our, Facebook engagement, and the person's there to build a university website, and they already have an SEO social media team. So what we want to do
around in that moment, in that place where they can really have impact, instead of having them all in one place.
Right. We see this all the time. People are checking the boxes. I mean, you're listening to the podcasts that are telling you how to do this, right? And you're jamming the stuff into your website, and you're saying, I did it. And you did the hard part, which is you have the testimonials. You're collecting the great stories. You're doing all of the things. But so often, everyone nowadays calls themselves as digital marketers, and everybody's trying to build out their own digital marketing team and think agencies are overpriced. But the reality is like, we have platform like Learning at Vital, right? We got 70 plus clients who come to us every month. All we do is try to impact their KPIs. We work month to month with their product. We make tons of mistakes, but we make tons of successes. And when we make those successes, we then can roll them out to other people's websites, and we start to see things. So the type of thing that like a typical digital marketer does, who works for a company side, they have nobody really checks and balances. They're not learning on anybody else's websites. They're the smartest person in the room. It's an echo chamber. It's an echo chamber that they're doing a great job of talking into. But what we're seeing is just a mess. Yard sales on websites. Yours is, not a yard sale, but it's a little bit yard saley, right? I don't know. I don't think it's a problem when you're sending people there who trust you, know you. They want to explore all about you. They're about to do business with you. And they're going to what I call do the horizontal journey, which means they're going to check behind the links. They're going to check behind the buttons. They're going to engage because you've built trust and they already want you. But to the person who doesn't want you, the person with intent potentially to buy your services, they're not finding you. And then once if they luckily find you, you're not giving them a funnel to fall into. And those are the two things we see biggest on both sides. The other thing I'm going to just give you some real quick is this discovery call, right? Your discovery call is like, let's talk, which is a good conversion. You're not saying submit or some weird thing, right? Like, let's talk. That sounds really engaged. And then it comes to an engagement and it says, let's talk. Please choose your date. Please choose my date. What are we going to talk about? What are we going to get out of this 15 minutes with you? To tell me clearly and concisely what you're doing with me for 15 minutes so that I'm compelled to fill out your form and do this calendar. I mean, this is a lot you're asking of somebody. I don't necessarily want to talk to you for 15 minutes. I mean, again, if I know you, I feel lucky to talk to you for 15 minutes. But if I don't know you, then you're just a creepy guy asking me for 15 minutes of my time, and we don't want that, right? So what we want to do is tell people, if you were to look at Vital's landing pages for a webinar or something like that, it's going to clearly tell you, here's the 10 things you're going to get out of this webinar. Here's the 5 points that we think it will help your business. Here's how long it will take. Here's how to do it. And then for some reason, your validation slipped so far down on the page. A nice video of you, Simon. I mean, geez, you're such a charismatic guy, and you're you tons of video capabilities. Like, why isn't there a video telling me what I'm going to get out of doing this 15-minute call with you, and why it's so important to my business and my success? So a quick video there, some bullet points, and you're going to convert at a much higher rate. I mean, do we need to go on? Should we go on, or are we good?
Yeah. One more thing.
Let's see. So I did the F1 caching. I did the surprise navigation. The tools, one of the things that I noticed about the tools page, and I'm clicking over here on your website. So your tools page, you're asking for name and email based on a 1-sentence description of the offer, right? So again, you've got this conversion problem. Like, I'm not going to give you my name and my email. I'm not that cheap of a date, Simon, nor will anybody be who you haven't built trust with yet. So let's make a landing page for each of these products, right? Because the reason you're not ranking from an SEO perspective, and we talked about the fact that like Vital ranks for 20,000 keywords. We rank for over 1,000 keywords in the top 3 spots. You are struggling for showing up for your name. There's a reason for that. A lot of them we've already discussed. You don't really describe very well what you do. Those pages are kind of buried. They're not up top. But here's a perfect example of where all of your products and all of your services should have a landing page. And you should reverse engineer the titles of those pages, not based on jargon and what you think is clever, and but on what people are searching around those products, and then reverse engineer something you can be competitive at. You're not going to start by being like an email service provider, right? MailChimp's going to have all that space taken up, or the Constant Contact or the plethora of Salesforce related ones. But you could come up with something that's you, and then build a page around it. And of course, make sure that you did the SEO and the keyword research. We rank, with our companies, we automatically go in. They're typically tracking 20 to 100 keywords. We're like immediately go in and find 800 to 1,000 plus keywords. And then what we do is a keyword page assignment sheet. Before we build a page, before we start building pages, before we start designing stuff, we figure out what your pages are on your current website, what they should be ranking for, and whether we want them to be the hub and spoke page, or the hub page, or the spoke page. We call it a keyword page assignment sheet. You could do that, and what you'd figure out is like, I have all these new pages to build out. I don't have a page around bottleneck card, and I don't have a page around business innovation card, and I don't have a page around customer journey card. And once you have those pages, you're then going to follow best practices, build a deep content product page around those pages. You can still have them look really sexy on the home page or on a product page, like you have them looking, but it gives the search engines and the consumer somewhere to go when they want to learn more about it. And that's what the search engine algorithms are looking for. It's no longer about optimizing for the back end of the search engines. It's about optimizing for your user. And so if you're doing something great for your user, you're probably doing something great for the search engines as well.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I will keep it like that for a couple of weeks, because the audience has now some really tangible examples that they can study to improve theirs. But after 2 weeks, audience, so be quick, because after 2 weeks, of course, we will implement everything that he said. Awesome. So thank you very much, Zac, for this first round. This was invaluable.
Thank you.
And very generous. And thank you very much. And we see you, Zac, next week on this show, because we are going to talk recession marketing. And most of us right now are thinking, hey, this next month, I don't know what's going to happen. Should I invest in marketing? Which parts? How much? What should I cut? So thank you very much, Zach, and see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Entrepreneurial freedom is awesome. It's also a lot of hard work to get there. And when you are there, it's easy to lose your grip. Our community of over 16,000 entrepreneurs is getting stronger and stronger every week because we amplify each other. We share what works and drop the rest. We test, refine, improve. Check strategysprints.com/clarity to level up your business and have fun doing it.